A few years ago, on a crisp Friday the 13th under the light of a full moon, I joined 10 close friends for a weekend camping trip to Snively Hot Springs in Eastern Oregon. It was a short drive, just over an hour, and even though I'd work the next day, I couldn't resist the call of nature, hot springs, and good company. Planning to keep it light on the drinks, I aimed to enjoy the night without the hangover. We arrived at the campsite and quickly found a perfect, secluded spot away from the noise of other campers. As we set up our tents and built our campfire, laughter and anticipation filled the air. The evening began to melt into one of those timeless, beautiful memories. When we finally dipped into the hot springs, the sun was setting in a blaze of color over the hills. We soaked together, all of us relaxed and smiling, bathed in the golden twilight, a moment that felt suspended in time. After our soak, a few of us decided to go on a moonlit hike. The idea of wandering the hills under the stars, with a full moon overhead, was irresistible. Half the group lagged behind, too high or too tipsy to be organized. Only 3 of us, myself, my friend girl, and friend boy, ended up committing to the adventure. Oh, and his loyal dog joined, too. We were microdosing mushrooms throughout the evening, so everything had that soft, surreal glow. Edges a little dreamlike, colors a little more vivid. It wasn't overwhelming, just a slight enhancement of the senses. We grabbed a flashlight, dressed warmly, and set out, though in hindsight, headlamps for everyone would have been a smart idea. We walked uphill for about 10 minutes, then came to a trail that veered right. A cattle guard blocked the path, flanked by barbed wire fences. That should have been our first red flag. Instead, we picked up the dog, crossed the guard, and continued. Not even 3 minutes in, a loud, rustling noise stopped us cold. It was close, too close. Friend boy raised the flashlight, sweeping the beam across the brush ahead. And then, like something out of nightmare, 2 glowing eyes caught the light. You know how cat eyes shine at night? Now, imagine eyes like that, but attached to something bigger than you. We were face to face with a mountain lion. We froze. Instinctively, we began to back away slowly, whispering to each other to stay calm. The dog darted off to the side, running parallel to us through the dark. We kept backing up until our heels hit the barbed wire. We turned to see the dog, safely at our side. But if she'd been there the whole time, would have been running next to us. We turned the flashlight toward the noise, and there it was, another mountain lion. A pair, likely a mother and her cub. This wasn't just bad luck. This was danger. Faced with a barbed wire fence and no safe retreat, we had to act fast. On the other side of the fence was someone else's campsite. Without time to think, we hoisted the dog over first, then climbed the fence ourselves, ripping our clothes and tearing skin in the process. Friend boy gashed his leg badly, blood mixing with adrenaline as we stumbled into the unfamiliar camp. Everything was eerily quiet. We didn't see anyone around, but the tents and supplies were clearly in use. Our nerves fried and our instincts in overdrive, we spotted a car and bolted toward it. Miraculously, it was unlocked. We climbed in and began honking the horn, hoping the loud noise would scare off the cougars, or at least alert someone to our presence. We shouted from the windows, making sure anyone nearby knew we weren't thieves. We yelled that there were mountain lions nearby, hoping to avoid confrontation. But what was strange, unsettling even, was that nobody came. No one from the campsite responded. Friend girl said she heard something, like a faint, muffled scream. She insisted someone was trying to call for help. Friend boy, ever the rational one, insisted we leave. I didn't hear anything myself, but something about the silence didn't sit right with me. My gut twisted as we made our way through the shadows, searching for a path back to our own camp. With every step, I felt those glowing eyes burning into my back. We were exposed, vulnerable, and very possibly being followed. I whispered a prayer, even though I'm not religious. We stumbled through the brush, finally spotting the familiar glimmer of our campfire in the distance. When we returned, the others were laughing, drinking, oblivious to our ordeal. I climbed into a car and locked the doors, completely overcome by a full-blown panic attack. Gnats swarmed me through the cracked sunroof, but I couldn't care less. I was shaking, breathing fast, Sure, the mountain lions were stalking us still. Friend girl joined me in the car, sacrificing her own comfort to help pull me out of the fear spiral. She brought a bottle of tequila and more mushrooms. If we die tonight, she joked, we'll die happy together. Somehow, that twisted bit of humor helped. I calmed down enough to leave the car, rejoin the others, and let the night roll on. The next morning, I was wrecked. Hungover, exhausted, and mentally fried. I didn't even bother calling into work. I no-called, no-showed, and got fired for it. But you know what? I still don't regret it. That night was one of the most beautiful and terrifying experiences of my life. Even now, years later, I sometimes have nightmares. I see glowing eyes in the darkness, feel the cold sweat of being watched. I dream of running, always running, chased by shadows. And sometimes I think about that other campsite, the one we ran through in the middle of the night. No one ever came out. No voices answered our yells. And friend girl, who I'm no longer in touch with, was adamant she heard a scream. What happened at that site? Was someone in trouble? Were we too scared to help? Or did we wander into something we were never meant to witness? That thought still haunts me. I'll never know what was really going on that night. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe it was everything. Either way, the memory of that moonlit mountain, those glowing eyes, and that endless silence will stay with me forever. So, if you ever go camping under a full moon in cougar country, don't wander too far from the firelight. And whatever you do, pack in, pack out. Even ghosts hate litter.